As Justin's high-powered attorney, Bryan Freedman, exited the building, he didn't exactly offer a peace treaty. Instead, he dropped a bombshell. He expects this case to go to trial. A mandatory settlement conference sounds like a polite way of saying, the judge is tired of your drama, so please sit in a room and fix it. It's the legal version of being forced to sit on the get-along shirt with your sibling. In these rooms, lawyers usually trade numbers, egos are checked at the door, and everyone tries to find a middle ground to avoid the massive expense and public spectacle of a trial. But when you have two of the biggest names in Hollywood and a production dispute that has been simmering since the final cut of the film, middle ground is hard to find. Reports from the ground suggest the atmosphere was professional but chilly. We're talking air conditioner set to 50 degrees chilly. While we don't have a transcript of the whispers, the outcome speaks volumes. Bryan Freedman's statement wasn't just a casual update, it was a shot across the bow. The Freedman factor. If you aren't familiar with Bryan Freedman, just know he's the guy celebrities call when they aren't looking to play nice. He's the litigation heavyweight who doesn't mind a public scrap. By stating he expects a trial, he's essentially telling the world that whatever Blake's team offered, if they offered anything at all, it wasn't enough to make the Baldoni side blink. But what exactly are they fighting over? Is it just about creative control, or is there something much deeper buried in those production contracts? To understand why they're in court, we have to go back to the editing room. Rumors have been swirling for months that there were two competing cuts of It Ends With Us. Version A, Justin Baldoni's vision, the director's cut. Version B, the cut commissioned by Blake Lively, the producer star's cut. In Hollywood, the director's cut is usually the gold standard, but when your lead actress is also a powerhouse producer with a direct line to the studio, things get messy. Think of it like a kitchen with two head chefs. One wants a refined, savory dish. The other wants to add a pound of glitter and serve it on a floral plate. Why this matters legally. Usually, these disputes are settled with a final cut clause in a contract. If Justin had final cut, Blake's interference could be seen as a breach. If Blake had the power to override him, Justin might be arguing that the environment created was hostile, or that his professional reputation was damaged by the way the film was marketed and edited. We have to talk about the visuals because, let's face it, Blake Lively doesn't do anything without a look. For the press tour, it was all about the method dressing, florals, lily bloom vibes, and bright colors. Today, the palette was decidedly more litigious. There's a strange irony in seeing two people who spent weeks on screen portraying a deeply emotional, complicated relationship now standing feet apart in a room where the only thing being shared is legal paperwork. It's a stark reminder that behind the magic of cinema lies the business of show. Here is where the plot thickens like a plot point in a Colleen Hoover novel. There is a sequel. It's called It Starts With Us, and fans are dying to see it. But here's the kicker. Justin Baldoni's production company, Wayfair Studios, holds the rights. Blake Lively is the face of the franchise. If they can't stand to be in a settlement conference together for 3 hours, how on earth are they going to film a 90-day production for a sequel? By pushing for a trial, Freedman might be looking for a divorce settlement. One party might have to buy the other out. Does Blake buy the rights from Justin? Does Justin recast Lily Bloom? The internet would literally melt down. Or do they both walk away, leaving the franchise in a permanent state of to be continued? This isn't just a legal battle, it's a hostage situation for a beloved book adaptation. Every word Bryan Freedman says to the press is a calculated move to gain leverage in the eventual buyout. Is it possible that the trial threat is just a giant bluff to get a bigger paycheck? Or are they actually headed for a Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard style public showdown? The public's verdict. Whose side are you on? Here's the truth that neither side wants to admit. They both probably have a point. In Hollywood, as in life, two things can be true at once. Blake can be a brilliant producer who improved the film, and Justin can be a wrong director who was treated unfairly. But in a courtroom, there isn't much room for shades of gray. You win or you lose. When Bryan Freedman said, "I expect the case to go to trial," he wasn't just talking to the reporters. He was talking to the fans, the studio executives, and the jurors who haven't even been picked yet. If this goes to trial, What kind of receipts are we going to see? The mandatory settlement conference may have ended without a handshake, but the story is far from over. Today was just the prologue to what could be a very long, very loud legal battle. Bryan Freedman's brief statement to the press was a masterclass in legal cliffhangers. By leaning into the idea of a trial, he has ensured that the eyes of the world stay fixed on this dispute. He's signaled that they aren't afraid of the light, and in Hollywood, that's the bravest or most dangerous stance you can take. So, as Blake and Justin head back to their respective corners, we're left waiting for the next hearing, the next leak, and the next move. What do you think? Are you Team Blake, Team Justin, or just Team I want the sequel? Do you think a trial is the only way to get the truth, or is this just a massive misunderstanding blown out of proportion? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's discuss the drama, respectfully, of course. And if you found this breakdown helpful,